Like with the right hand, my tricep has to push down on the barbell so that it doesn't tip over. So that's another thing that's going on in the middle of. So, today I decided to do a little early morning workout. I have some new equipment at home, so I want to, use that as a workout or use it as a part of my workout. Also, I don't think I'm gonna do all of it right now, so I might do a workout in the evening as well, or actually, I will do a workout in the evening as well. But this is just going to be, like, I guess, workout one of today. Uh, going to do like a 30 to 40 minute landmine and kettlebell workout with the landmine and some kettlebells. And yeah, let's get to the first set now. So for the first circuit, so actually I should preface by saying I'm doing like circuits and I'm going to do them back to back with little to no rest. So what I'm going to do is 5 shoulder presses, switch sides, then 5 suitcase deadlifts, then 5 perpendicular rows, and then 5 kettlebell flips each hand. But yeah, that's a nice little superset to start off things. A lot of movements, a lot of good movements, getting my heart rate high, not necessarily trying to hit failure or anything, but moving a decent amount of weight. But yeah, that's the first circuit. I'm gonna do five of these, and then let's see what the next one is. So for this circuit, I'm gonna do overhead staggered squats. Or I don't know. I haven't decided on staggered or just regular. Let's do staggered. So holding it in overhead position. So the overhead position focuses on or forces the shoulder stability muscles to stay activated throughout. Then keeping my feet in the staggered position and staying on my toes. And squat. After 5 each side, I'm going to do some perpendicular deadlifts. So perpendicular is facing this way. Going for 5 each side. Trains all the muscles that a regular deadlift would. But the offset load and the angle of the landmine forces a lot more of a core contraction as well. Then with the kettlebell, doing 5 mug swings each hand. But yeah, these three exercises. I'm working from home today and have to clock in pretty soon. So it's probably going to be just this circuit, maybe one more. But yeah, whatever that is happening next. Or we'll fast forward straight to the gym. So for the gym portion of today's workout, or today's video, so I started off with 30 minutes on the manual treadmill, and now I've been doing the backward sled for a while. But along with the backward sled, I'm also doing a shoulder stability movement, holding the kettlebell in overhead position as I walk backwards with the sled, forcing the stabilizers of the shoulder to stay activated throughout. Also the core. Also, since like a lot of muscle groups are involved, the growth hormone response is going to be a lot higher. So I think in my opinion, it leads to better growth. Then along with that, you're also involving your shoulder in like a heavy movement, kind of like, so the weight of the sled is like, I guess, added resistance on the body, though not directly on the shoulder. But it is my opinion that when you combine the smaller muscle groups with muscles that can handle heavier weight, and then perform movements in which a lot of weight is involved, along with the smaller muscle groups, then you get bigger, uh, you know, bigger of the smaller muscle groups. For example, if you do a lot of pull-ups, you get big biceps. So but biceps is not the main muscle group. It's usually the back. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. Anyway, with the cannonballs or with the kettlebell, doing cannonball alternate presses, but not waiting for one to come down before I press the other, doing at the same time. Going for 10 to 12 each hand. But yeah, that's the first superset at the gym. So for the next circuit slash superset, sticking with reverse sled, but adding an additional component to make it harder. So I am going to do a farmer carry in one hand and then overhead shoulder press with the other hand. And then, pretty much backwards one way and then switch hands and backwards the other way. This is what that looks like. Getting it in overhead position, other hand farmer carry, and walk back. A lot of muscle groups at play here, a lot of compensation mechanisms going on to stabilize the entire body to be able to perform such an awkward movement. But the more weight you're able to handle when you're unstable, and if you're able to do that, comfortably, then when it comes to other stimulus that might not necessarily be as heavy, but puts you in an unstable position, the likelihood that you're able to handle it without getting injured or hurting yourself is a lot greater. I mean, all this stuff looks pretty wonky, don't get me wrong, but at least in my experience since doing this kind of stuff, my other lifts have gone up and my other lifts just feel super comfortable to do. So take that for what it's worth. Supersetting that with kettlebell swings to front flip, or kettlebell swing squat to front flip for 5 reps. But yeah, that's what I'm doing for now. So for the next movement, I'm going to do something pretty awkward, and I've never really done this before, but you'll see what it is in a second. So I'm going to carry this offloaded barbell in like a half curl position while doing a reverse sled. So what that's going to force, for one, the biceps to maintain an isometric contraction, and then on top of that, the offset load is going to force my core to stay activated to maintain balance and compensate for the overload on one side. So holding it in like a half curl or more like a quarter curl, and then going backwards. So a couple of things that I notice is like the biceps working super hard to maintain the contraction throughout. The core on the left side, so it was on the weight was on my right. So the core on my left side was pretty like activated. Then should have it this way. Then uh, the legs, the leg closer to or on the same side as that of the weight works harder. But those are at least the ones that I notice. But besides that, there's got to be so much else going on. Like with the right hand, my tricep has to push down on the barbell so that it doesn't tip over. So that's another thing that's going on in the middle of all this. But yeah, that's the sled movement. Then with the kettlebell, doing swing squat to front flips. Going for 5. Oh, but yeah, I'm gonna do a couple more sets, then sauna. So I'm actually finishing off with some arms before I head into the sauna. So starting off with alternate tricep pushdowns on the cable machine. Really slowing down the movement and squeezing at the bottom to force as much blood into the triceps as possible. After that, I'm going to take one of the cables and press it down and hold the isometric and make sure that I'm pressing with my tricep rather than my shoulder or anything like that. And then with the other arm, I'm going to do curls for 10. Really keeping my tricep contracted here, not letting the weight transfer into other muscle groups, or rather let other muscle groups take over. After 10 one side, switching arms and doing the same. I try to stay at an angle so you can see the bicep this time. So left hand goes down, right hand. My tricep started relaxing over there, so my arm got a little ahead. So watch out for things like that. Keep your muscles accountable. But yeah, That's the arm exercise, and then after that sauna.